What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the Super Norvik. I think I'm saying that right. As it is very clear, or it should be very clear, this is a battle tank. Actually, I believe it's dubbed a tank killer in the description. So, I think that's the official term. But yeah, I picked this one because it's really, really cool. I don't typically do a lot of small vehicles and stuff as much anymore because there's not as much interior and things to really look at, so it doesn't fill up very much time and there's not a lot to look at and everything. But this one was just really well done. And I hadn't done a smaller, and especially not a ground vehicle, in a little while, so I thought it would be kind of a little bit of a change of pace. But yeah, mainly just because it looked really cool. I saw the screenshot on the workshop front page, and it was just like, dang, that was kind of my first reaction. So I figured I would include it. So yeah, I really love how this is designed and stuff. The use of all this different framing type shapes and things like that to make it just really looks good. And it has a little bit of an interior. We've got a door here. Hopefully I don't break anything too bad. I guess we can stand up, kind of. And I believe this is, according to the description, I believe this is the, wow, I guess that was just the rotor. Like the ammo storage type area for if you were going to have to unload or jump out of the tank kind of thing. Got a control for the left door there, and then we've basically got the main cockpit area, or driver's seat, I guess? Yeah, driver's seat. We'll go with that. Now, let's see here. I think the parking brake is probably going to be on, because when I pasted it in, the wheels didn't look like they were going anywhere, but let's look over the hotbars. So we have the camera, gun sight, and turret view, rocket launcher, Gatling gun, the remote control for a periscope for, as I believe the description described it, as better visual viewing or something like that. Turret lock, exterior lights, regular lights, camera for the gun sight, projector for the gun sight, decrease and increase vertical offset, the interior turret designator, not really sure what that one's for, left door, right door, doors. I guess that's both of them. Antennas, SOS, and programmable blocks for things that I probably shouldn't be tampering with. So, with that, so if we turn with the mouse, we have control of the turret. Like so, and I'm guessing, if I turn the parking brake off, then our WASD keys control the tank itself. So it actually works like a standard tank. Like if you've ever played a tank in a video game, pretty much how this works. The mouse, or the view, if you will, controls the turret, and then your movement controls would control the actual body, which is really cool, and I can't say I've actually seen that done before. In Space Engineers, I mean, like most of the time you have to use remote blocks to control one or the other, that kind of thing. Now, it doesn't have the inertia dampeners on, or inertial, whatever they're called, the dampeners. So stopping seems a little bit more difficult because it doesn't seem to kind of do it on its own. I'm having to hit the like W and S key, but that's not really a big deal. Let's actually turn on the parking brake so that we're not rolling around going anywhere. Looks like I might have stopped on a hill or something because my speed's still going all over. Alright, so we have the turret view here, or the gun sight view. Oh, and then that's the actual turret view. Okay, so this is kind of your aiming reticle. Where is the... Okay, so we have the two chain guns on the side. I thought those might have been controllable turrets. Oh, they are! Oh, they're in sync with the barrel, the main barrel. That's cool. That's pretty neat. It's very handy. And then, I'm assuming the rocket is the turret. Yeah. So is this a double? Or a triple? Looks like a triple barrel. Well, that's cool. Alright. And then we have a lock, which I'm assuming does what it says, and you can't move the turret. That would actually be pretty useful if you were going to be moving around at like a higher speed or something, and you didn't want the turret to snap off or something. We have the running lights on the outside for night, I'm guessing. And I don't know what that does. Okay, it turns on these side lights. But then the 8 key turns on like all of the other ones. Interesting. Cool. Alright. And I don't know if the rest of this is really necessary. We have the increase and decrease the vertical, but I think that's fine. I'm leery of hitting buttons, but... Okay, I don't know what this does. This is the designator thing. I don't know what this is. I guess it's the interior turret, but I don't know why it's called a designator. Because that, to me, I think like laser painting type of thing when you're painting something for an airstrike or something, like using a designator. The rotors, we already know what those do, so yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of it, other than some of the other internal mechanics and things if you were wanting to know how... Oh, there's a back door! I see. Hold on. That's what this button... nope. Okay. Don't have control of that door. Let's see what's back there. I didn't see that. So I think, in hindsight, the left and right doors is to open and close them, and the doors control is to disable the rotors so that they can't... Or enable them, rather. Rear door. Like, I may have accidentally done. Hold on. Nope. No, now hold on a minute. Hang on just a second. If I can open those doors, why can't I open the rear one? So, that opens. And if I turn this on... Yeah, see, that doesn't open then. So how do I get to this back door? I'm confused. Probably not supposed to get to the back door, but... rear door. Rotor, rear. Reverse. I'm calling shenanigans. I promise it wasn't my fault. I didn't break anything, I don't think. Rear door. Oh, that worked. I don't know what I did. Oh, so here's the cargo area that I was thinking for if you were carrying troops and stuff and had guns and other things. And ammo and whatnot. Okay. I don't know what I did and why that... It seems very temperamental. Oh, there it goes. I don't know what I did. We're gonna roll with it. So yeah. Overall, really like this build. Like I said, I don't usually do a lot of smaller ones because there's not as much to see on them. But this one just looked really cool, and it works surprisingly well. I'm actually getting more and more impressed with how well a lot of these ground vehicles are starting to be in Space Engineers. I remember when the game first kind of came out, and ground vehicles were just... First of all, they didn't exist, but then even when they introduced wheels, it was just, no. You just didn't mess with ground vehicles that much. It was always very temperamental, didn't work right. But these are actually really starting to work really, really well, so I'm impressed. It's moving very well. I haven't blown up anything, I haven't died, I haven't crashed, which all of that is very impressive if you're very familiar with any of my other episodes. So, with that, we're going to wrap this one up, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the Longsword-class frigate, I think. Pretty sure. And I wanted to kind of make a note about this one, that in the description of the ship, it was fairly lengthy and fairly robust, but it wasn't simply kind of like a laid out, here's what this can do, here's what it's capable of, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of done inside of its own lore kind of thing. So I kind of glanced over it, but I didn't read the whole thing. So if there's things that I miss or screw up or break, not only is that par for the course normally, but It's not saying that it wasn't already stated in there somewhere. So just with that out of the way. But it's a really cool looking ship. I do think that I noticed it was designed somewhat as an attack ship, I think. Like a first strike, quick attack type thing. I could be wrong on that. But if that's the case, it actually does make sense. It's got the rocket launchers out the nose, it's got a lot of turrets on it, and it looks fairly light and mobile for a frigate type ship. That is not one of these big, huge capital vessels with tons and tons of armor and things, so it probably can still move around pretty darn good. I also really like this bridge up here. And no, it's not because it kind of looks similar to the design I was working on in my current Let's Build. It just, I like it. It just looks kind of cool. It kind of has that canopy type style where it's not just a couple of windows or something. It's got like this kind of almost like the head of the ship type of thing. Very similar to stuff that we've seen in things like Star Trek and Star Wars and things that had like a capital bridge where you could see what's going on. So I kind of like that design, though. It kind of looks a bit more sunk in, like a face or a helmet or something. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. I also like the little wings on the side. That's a nice touch. But yeah, overall it's really interesting. I do like that. I'm really interested to check out these cannons on the front, though. Those large grid missiles, I think, are ridiculous. I don't use a lot of combat stuff in survival, just because it's never really been much of a thing that I've had to do. But, so I don't know about like ammo costs and things, but the rate of fire on those is crazy to me, that it should decimate most anything. So we have bridge, medical bay, and crew quarters are that way, and forward weapon systems are that way. So let's check that out while we're here. You know, this is a great example of sign work. The door was very visible, the signs point you in the right direction. I like the signs. Backup ventilation system, bridge, medical bay, crew quarters are that way. See? Signs work so well. Depressurized bulkhead, port forward weapon systems, not point. Starboard, and then bow weapon systems. Got it. So this is just the gyroscope. I'm guessing this is for, like, maintenance and stuff like that, would be my guess. I don't really know why else you would leave these exposed, other than if you needed to repair them, or if they just thought it looked cool. I don't know. I do like this, when this passageway thing is done right, in a way that's kind of cool looking and stuff, and not just stuck off to the side of somewhere, but when it's actually used like a passageway, it never fails to remind me of Star Wars. Just always does. So here's the bow weapon, which is those four... Oh no, they're not here. They're further ahead. This must be the storage area for the rockets that it fires, I would imagine. And then, okay, so yeah, that comes out of the storage, then it connects to the conveyors, which connect to all the missile rocket launchers. That's cool. At some point, I do think it would be cool if space engineers actually added missiles instead of rockets. And yes, it's because I'm terrible at aiming. I know there's the turrets, but once they fire, they don't really track. So, you know. Backup ventilation system. Let's check and see what this looks like. Okay. I don't really know what that would be for, other than if it's another set of oxygen generators and tanks and things separate, because it kind of looks like it's just a vent, but it's probably connected to the rest of the system. And if the other one goes down, then they'll have those. Crew quarters, medical bay, and bridge. What goes this way? Programmable block. Port weapon systems. Let's actually check out one of the... We didn't check out the other ones. So this is probably all the conveyor stuff to the turrets and things, I'm guessing. And that's probably mainly for reload and maintenance purposes, I would imagine. Could be wrong. Port engineer access. Port engine nacelle access. Ooh, nacelles. Okay. So again, I'm thinking most of these... Whoa! Not very nice door. See, this is my problem with doors. They hide from me, they attack me. Like I just don't like doors. Actually, I really do think that archways and doorways are cool in aesthetic design, but in playing the game, they always attack me. Bridge officer quarters are that way. Crew quarters, hydroponic. Ooh! I don't know what it is about this hallway, but to me it looks really cool for vanilla. I'm thinking it's the use of color and the half blocks with the interior wall as the floor. It really kind of looks like almost modded, actually. That's kind of cool looking. So using the oxygen farms as hydroponics. Nice touch. I like it. I like it. Crew quarters. I'm guessing officer quarters are that way. Okay, I couldn't remember if we were in officer or crew quarters. So that's just regular crew. They don't get anything fancy. They just get some bunks. Okay, and then we're back out here. Ah, will not thwart me, door. Alright, now starboard engineering exit. Now what goes down this way? I didn't see a sign for this. Another engineering room. This looks like batteries and gyroscopes. Okay. I may have seen, there may have been a label for that area, but I didn't see one. Ooh, nice engineering room. I like it. Something about walking into a big open room and there's like these glowing reactors and huge tanks and stuff like that. Just, it's like, yeah, it's a good engineering room. Alright, so there's your primary oxygen generators and stuff, so that's probably why there's the backup in the other area of the ship. Is there... Okay, no. I didn't know if there was an upper access point to this. There's not. Alright, so I guess bridge and office quarters is next. So we have our gravity generator there. Okay, bridge, main deck goes that way, so the officer quarters must be this way. Ah, see, they get a little bit fancier. They get a TV, computer, switchboard button panel, I guess, and bed. That's probably supposed to be like a dresser or something, I don't know. Showers, I imagine. More quarters, or bunks. Oh, so is that like, wait, no. What is this one for? Not really sure what that one's for. Oh well. And the bridge is this way. I know these work, but am I the only one that feels like those are really steep stairs when they do it this way? It does work, and your character can walk up those stairs with ease. There's no issue with them, but it's just like, man, that's some steep stairs. Kill your knees. Alright, let's see if there's any... Okay, there's nothing actually set up on the hotbars, it looks like, for controlling the ship. Which is kind of odd, actually, because I would think there would at least be one of these. But I do think other than these, the rest of the weapons are turret-based, so it's probably why. But yeah, we've got the rapid-fire torpedo bay out the front. That's what I'm going to call it. So, let's actually test out the movement. So acceleration is pretty good, especially since I don't see too many like hydrogen thrusters. And the maneuvering is pretty good as well. It's a little on the slower side, but still not quite like at a capital vessel level. I mean, you can still move around pretty good. So yeah, I like it. I approve. Alright, so with that, let's wrap this one up and move on to the last one. Alrighty, so next up we have the Shkval, which I highly doubt is the way you're supposed to say it, but who knows. It is actually another frigate class, or capital class, I'm not quite sure, because I believe the description calls it both. Really cool overall, I really like it. It is a vanilla build, there's no rotors or pistons as it was stated in the description. It's kind of an all-purpose type frigate. It can fly around in an atmosphere, it can break the atmosphere if the weight's not too heavy, it can attack bases with free-fall projectiles, so if you're in a planetary environment and you have gravity or something, I believe, I'm guessing it's going to be towards the back here. Yep, there they are. The welders and merge blocks, so I'm guessing there's projectors for there. Hangar might be for the fighters, or if there's a fighter or a docking port, maybe. So yeah, pretty cool. I like it. I especially like that since it can do atmospherics with these atmosphere thrusters right here. It kind of reminds me of a helicarrier from Avengers, which I think is cool. I've always liked that style, the way they did the VTOL type propeller things in those ships, so that's always a nice touch. So yeah, I really do like it. And once again, it's got kind of a head-like bridge type thing, which is always a cool touch to me. I also like the added red light kind of thing in the bridge. Partially because it kind of makes things look a little more intense, but also because it kind of reminds me of like actual naval ships where they'll sometimes switch to the red lights in the bridge for like night missions and things like that, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that was the intention or not, but it's a cool touch even if it isn't. I also like this kind of stuff where it's like they use the blast door edge blocks and then interior lights. And I don't know if they're concealing anything or if that's just for decoration, because I mean the thrusters are sticking out over here, so it's not really like they're covering them up, but it adds a layer of being completed. It's not like you can see all the different guts and things of the ship type of thing. It has this kind of theme going through it, which is cool. I do like the kind of pod style that the back thrusters have too. They kind of have their own little nacelles going on. So let's go ahead and dive inside the ship. I don't know. Okay, we do have gravity. Whew. Y'all know how much I hate mag boots, so when I turn off my jetpack right next to a door and I don't get any gravity, it makes me nervous. Alright, so we have a hangar area back here, so this is a hangar. I thought so. I wasn't sure if maybe there was more bombs that could drop out of this, and it was like a bomb bay door, but it's a hangar. I really like the use of color palette here, by the way. This is kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. All the different, it really identifies a lot of the mechanical engineering parts of the ship that if anything was damaged or something, you could easily tell what's going on. Also, the bright and dark makes for a really good contrast. So, but yeah, nice little hangar. I like it. I also like the scaffolding type walkway, catwalk areas. I love how I think I see more of this style of catwalk than actually completed catwalks. I don't think I've seen people actually complete them for real catwalks. It's always to cover up a conveyor or something, but when they're actually using it as a free-floating catwalk, they almost always leave it this way. And I see that so often. It's kind of hilarious. Alright, so we have a computing room, which is naturally a room where I'm gonna go. Like me a computing room. Now this is interesting that they've got like an airlock kind of thing going on there for the computing room. I suppose, well, I was gonna say I suppose until I realized that the cryo chamber is right above it, but I was gonna say, suppose you could say it's a fire hazard. You know, if you had a fire, you could just block off the room and vent the air out, and then it wouldn't be on fire anymore. I've actually heard of mainframe server rooms that do that in real life. What goes up here? Is this to the bridge? This might be to the bridge. I don't really like going to the bridge first, because then I feel like I have to backtrack. Yep, I'm at the bridge. Not doing it. Hangar. Alright, so we went to the computer room. We came in from one of these side doors, I think, so we should be okay to go back this way. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. Huh, so there's a window so you can see out over the hangar. And yes, I totally just ignored the fact that I tried to walk through another window again. Let's see. So this is the cryo chamber. We got a jump drive in the middle. And that's, I'm imagining, like jump drive control type stuff. Timer blocks above that. Now this says to Citadel. So I guess that's considered the citadel of the ship. I don't really... full disclosure, I don't really know what the true definition of that word is, but I've always kind of assumed it to be more like a tower, because that's usually where you see it used, but maybe it means where everybody goes. I don't know. So I guess there's not actually much more of the interior than that. I thought there might be some more that I didn't... when it says Citadel, I thought maybe there was more of a common area or something like that I missed. You know, kind of like missing this door on the back here. So anyways, so back on the bridge. Let's see if there's a main... Come on. Looks like they have the same controls, so I guess it doesn't really matter. What are we looking at? We've got rocket launchers, rocket camera, reverse thruster, or reverse thrust, rather. Rocket launcher... Oh! We might be right. Rocket launcher hangar doors... Wait. Rocket launcher, hangar doors, and bottom hangar doors. Interesting. Spotlight, landing gear, hangar clamps, cameras for the bombs, timer block for the bomb triggers, projector crosshair. That might be either for the rockets or for the bombs. I'm thinking bombs. You have a projector and then a camera. So we have auto LCDs, auto level, airlock, and salvo controls. Antenna lights, connector lights, white interior lights. I don't see anything else. Alright, so where are these rocket doors? Oh, they actually have doors to control that. That's cool. So that should be this then. Oh. Well, that's kind of neat. I didn't see those before since they were open, so I didn't even notice. And then, of course, we've got the hangar doors back here for your fighters or whatnot. And I may try and run a salvo of the bombs, but I know they're probably not going to go anywhere, really. Unless it gets pulled in from the artificial gravity, maybe. But we have the rocket view. Oh, good grief, they did that alternating thing. That's just mean. That's just mean. You just shouldn't shoot that many missiles at somebody. It just seems wrong. Alright, let's try a salvo button before I try and do anything else. That's toggle block on and off. Maybe I can't actually trigger it? Maybe I can't actually trigger it. Alright, so let's do bomb starts. Let's see what happens. There we go. Yeah, see, they kind of disconnect, but then they don't really do anything. Some of them use artificial mass blocks to pull them down, but I think this is designed for atmospheric, so it would just fall, basically. Kind of looks like I just unloaded a bunch of junk. It was like, dump the garbage. Oh, look, I see the Millennium Falcon in there. Anyways, alright, so let's test its movement. Now, this is supposed to be kind of a frigate/capital ship, so it probably doesn't move the quickest. The acceleration's pretty good. I did notice that it has the reverse thrust. So that's those hydrogen thrusters right there. Actually, turning is really good. The acceleration is okay, and it's what you'd expect, but the turning is actually really good. Like, this is more, to me, more fighter control-ish. Wow, I don't know why, but this view kind of reminds me of videos I've seen from, like, Anacondas from Elite Dangerous. I think it's the nose. It's that longer nose out there. Yeah, that would be fun. Look at that! Alright, so with that, we're going to wrap things up for this episode. I do hope to have the poll for the Reverse Engineer series in this one by the time you're watching it. Last episode, I forgot about it until I started noticing people were commenting on which ship they wanted reverse engineered, and I realized it's because I didn't put the poll in. So hopefully I fixed that. But as always, leave your vote on the poll as to which ship you'd rather see reverse engineered on next week's episode of the Reverse Engineer series. And with that, we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.